in 7 games. So they've kind of built this thing now in the postseason, it feels. We'll see what happens in the first round this year. Because there has not been a repeat champion in the NBA in 8 seasons. So would it be more impressive now if Oklahoma City can do it and repeat, or if Boston wins it all with Tatum coming off that Achilles injury so early? What do you think?
I think Celtics, based on the idea that, nobody expected at the beginning of the year for them to be in this situation without Tatum for 70-something games, 60 games. So to me, the Celtics coming back off that terrible injury last year and losing the Knicks, which they did. Now, listen, the West is much harder. Beating Philly, the Knicks, and Detroit or Cleveland is not as difficult as OKC having to go through maybe San Antonio or Denver or Houston back-to-back. But I do think if the Celtics do get to the win the title with the Tatum injury, the fact that nobody thought this was going to occur and for them to have the wherewithal to win it all again, I would think that'd be more impressive.
I would disagree with you there. I'm going to go with Oklahoma City as the answer to this question. I would agree with you, Doggy, if Tatum had never come back. Then that would be different. But the fact that he came back after missing the 62 games, and obviously he's flowed with them over the last 20 games or so, getting himself ready for the postseason. I think that the Boston Celtics, even though, again, 4 of their top 8 players are gone, Porzingis, Horford, Drew Holiday, that kind of thing, you still got Derek White there. You still got Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, your 2 preeminent stars. Obviously, you still have Peyton Pritchard coming off the bench, who's really, really formidable for them. So I look at it from that standpoint, along with the fact that the East is not as tough as the West. And I say the answer to this question is OKC. You are the reigning, defending NBA champions. You have a team like the San Antonio Spurs, led by a 7'5" superstar in Victor Wembanyama, who went 26-2 over a 28-game stretch and still wasn't able to catch you for the number 1 seed in the West. Even when a guy like Jalen Williams, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's sidekick, missed about 49 games this year. And Shai himself missed about 12 to 14 games. Still, they're the number 1 seed in the Western Conference, ready to defend their crown. I would say if they repeated back-to-back, looking at Minnesota, Denver, San Antonio, and to a lesser degree, Houston in the Western Conference standing in your way, and you get through all of that, and then possibly Boston to repeat as NBA champions, I would believe that's more impressive back-to-back than the Celtics winning this year.
I would tend to agree. You got to remember, Oklahoma City didn't just walk into the finals last year. That was a very competitive final series with the Pacers, and Pacers were very close to winning it all. Of course, Tyrese Halliburton getting hurt didn't help them. But
what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. The NBA playoffs are here, and the debate has already started. Which team winning it all would be more impressive? Would it be the Oklahoma City Thunder repeating as champions? Or would it be the Boston Celtics winning with Jason Tatum coming back from a torn Achilles? On First Take this morning, Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp went back and forth on this question. And honestly, they both made great points. Stephen A. said the Celtics would be more impressive because nobody expected them to be in this position after Tatum missed 60-plus games. Shannon said OKC would be more impressive because the West is a gauntlet. Let me show you exactly what they said. Roll the clip. Did you catch that? Let me break this down because this is a great debate. Stephen A. started by saying the Celtics would be more impressive. His reasoning was simple. At the beginning of the year, nobody expected Boston to be in this situation without Tatum for 60-plus games. They lost Kristaps Porzingis. They lost Al Horford. They lost Drew Holiday. They lost a lot of key pieces. And yet, here they are, contenders again. And if they win it all with Tatum coming back from an Achilles injury and playing his way into shape, Stephen A. said, that would be more impressive. But Shannon Sharp pushed back hard. He said, I would disagree with you there. I'm going to go with Oklahoma City. His reasoning? The West is much harder. He said, beating PH. Illy, the Knicks, and Detroit or Cleveland is not as difficult as OKC having to go through maybe San Antonio, Denver, or Houston back-to-back. And then Shannon dropped some serious stats. He reminded everybody that Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs went 26-2 over a 28-game stretch, and they still could not catch OKC for the number 1 seed, even when Jalen Williams missed about 40 games. even when Shai Gilgeous-Alexander missed 12 to 14 games. The Thunder still finished as the #1 seed in the Western Conference. That is depth. That is coaching. That is a championship culture. Shannon then laid out the Thunder's potential path. Minnesota, Denver, San Antonio, Houston, and then possibly Boston in the finals. If OKC gets through all of that and repeats as champions, Shannon said, I would believe that's more impressive back-to-back than the Celtics winning this year. Stephen A. then added one more nugget. He said, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was injured. Since he's been back, 19-1. That is dominance. That is an MVP level closer. Now, let me give you my take on this. Both arguments are valid, but I am leaning with Shannon on this one. Here is why. The Eastern Conference is not as deep as the West. Yes, the Celtics have had to overcome injuries. Yes, Tatum coming back from an Achilles is a miracle. But the path is easier. The Knicks are good, but they are not the Nuggets. The Cavs have talent, but they have not proven anything in the playoffs. The Pistons are the #1 seed, but they have zero playoff experience as a core. In the West, every round is a war. The Nuggets have Jokic and Murray. The Spurs have Wembanyama, who is already a top 5 player. The Timberwolves have Ant-Man, who averages 30 points against Denver. The Rockets are young and hungry. And OKC has to go through all of them without home court advantage in every series? Actually, they do have home court. They are the 1 seed. But still, the competition is brutal. And let's not forget what the Thunder did last year. They won the championship. They beat the Pacers in a competitive finals. They have already proven they can do it. Repeating is harder than winning once. Every team is gunning for you. Every team has studied your film. Every team has adjusted. And the Thunder have handled it all year. Even with injuries. Even with a target on their backs. Stephen A. made a great point about the Celtics. Nobody expected them to be here. That is true. But the Celtics have also been here before. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum have been to multiple conference finals. They have finals experience. They know what it takes. The Thunder are younger. They have less experience. And they are still dominating. So, for me, if OKC repeats, that is the more impressive title. The West is a bloodbath. The East is not. And the Thunder have done it without their full roster for most of the season. Now, let me ask you, do you agree with Shannon or Stephen A? And do the Pistons have a real chance to come out of the East? Let me know in the comments. I read every single one. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button. It really helps the channel. And subscribe if you want to stay locked in. We are building something real here. See you next time. Peace.